I'm so embarrassed for Tisha from this episode. I don't know how she's not embarrassed. I hope she watched this back and cringed. The way that Tisha got drunk and acted a fool this last scene, that's not a good look. That's not a good look that you wait until you're that inebriated to continue to stir up and cause discord. Or on the flip, on the reverse, it could very well be that Tisha was trying to work up the nerve to ask Stormy why she invited her, but like you had to get that drunk to do it. You picked a fight. What's good, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Tammy. This is Tammy Talks. Love and Marriage Huntsville Season 8, Episode 6, No More Nice Trish. I don't know if they meant Tisha or Trish because Trish wasn't whatever. If you're brand new or if you have not yet subscribed, do me a solid, hit that subscribe button, thumbs up the video, leave your comments down below. So the episode picks back up where Trisha and Ken are having this very awkward, uncomfortable conversation about how she is still married. She's scared to get remarried to him, but she wants to stay in this marriage that she's in. I'm sorry, but Trisha, this doesn't make sense, love. None of this makes sense. So she finally reluctantly agrees that, you know what? I do want to marry you, Ken. And I'm sorry, but I don't believe her. I don't believe her, and I feel like Ken, you might not want to believe her either. You might want to just take it with a grain of salt. Somebody please tell production that the music was too loud. Y'all, I had to turn on the caption, had to turn on my subtitles so I could hear what the hell they were saying. Trisha feels that her ex dropped the ball when she lost a lot of people in her life. So if I recall, she lost both her parents and her sister within like a very short span, and she feels that her, can't say ex-husband because she's still married, her estranged husband, she feels that he wasn't there, he dropped the ball, he didn't really step up for her in the way that she needed or the way that she thought he was going to. But I guess my question is, what does that have to do with you not wanting to divorce him and moving forward with Ken? That doesn't make sense, sis. That's very hypocritical. You feel that this man was not there for you emotionally the way that you needed or deserved, but you want to stay married to him instead of like wanting to move forward with this man who you think is better. So her thing is that she doesn't want to have to go through, you know how people change when they're married. People are going to change regardless. And I like that Ken said that the person that we are, or the people that we are at 37 are not the people that we are going to be at 40, 50, 60. Right? I'm 39. The person I was at 35 is not who I am now. The person that I was at 22 is not the Tammy that I am now at 39. So people are going to change and evolve and all of that type of stuff. It really just sounds like Trisha might be getting some benefits by still being married to him, and I'm going to say they might be monetary in some way. But that's just me. So he then tells her that, you know, in his mind, he has these thoughts, these theories, these whatever, that he doesn't think that she even wants to get married to him. Like, he kind of feels like maybe she don't want to be married to me at all. And she's like, no, 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 that's not it. I do. I just, I don't know. She does a lot of mumbling, a lot of talking in circles, and nothing Trisha says makes sense to me. She then goes on to say that she believes that divorce will be expedited in the next few months. So he's like, okay, bet. So you're going to initiate it. She said that's asking a lot. I don't want to see Trisha anymore. I don't care about Trisha. I don't care about Ken. I don't care about nothing they have going on because this is stupid. None of this makes sense. You said this man was a raggedy ass husband, right? He's a terrible husband. Terrible man. You don't want to be with him. He wasn't there for you. This, that, and the other, but you don't want to ask for the divorce. Why? Why? I don't see nothing else about them. So the Scotts are out to dinner, getting drinks. Kimmy brings up Jordan Lane. So remember, we found out the first episode that her and Maurice bought this like mom and pop shop. They want to keep it as an eatery of some sort, and they want to gut it out, redo it, bring it back to life. So Maurice wants Marceau to do the construction for the property, to do the build. Kimmy said, I want it done sooner than later. She said, in history has shown that Marceau does not get things done quickly. She then says in a confessional that a lot of Marceau's projects take a while and he always has a reason. She don't want to deal with that. She wants the shit done. Kimmy then said that she knows that Marceau has a lot of different things on his plate, and she starts to think back of some of the other projects that they had going on, I guess, as a family, and how, it took a while for those to get done. Marceau said, look, a pet project is different than a project I'm getting paid for. Right? So if I'm paying for things to get done, like our house and stuff like that, it's going to take longer. As opposed to if you're paying me, that's going to always take priority. I mean, Marcel, y'all sure get your house. Y'all get your black kitchen renovated very quickly. So it's not that you can't do things quickly, it's that you don't want to. That's what it sounds like. So Marceau so Maurice still wants Marceau to do it, and Maurice, which he typically does, throws Kimmy under the bus and is like, Kimmy wants, Kimmy feels, Kimmy said, so he positions it to be like, well, I would give it to you, but Kimmy wants you to bid on it like everybody else. And Marceau was like, I'm cool with that. I'll bid. I'll put in a bid. That's no problem. Then you can hold me accountable. Kimmy then said that let the record show in the confessional that Tisha is still not in her office, the strip mall still is not finished, and Scott Manor still is not finished. I feel like Kimmy had another couple things she could have bust down for us, but she just lets it go. And I said, ooh, 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 ooh. I mean, we've been talking about Scott Manor since season 1. It's really giving Chateau Charest at this point. It's giving She by Charest. Joggers, September, spring, summer. That's the vibe that we're getting from Scott Manor, but at the end of the day, I don't think they need to mix it. I think that Kimmy and Maurice should find a builder that's not in the family. And I know she wants to keep the money in the family, but I think it's just going to cause more strife than is necessary for y'all. Go with somebody else. So we get Courtney and Ken, not even gonna hold y'all. I didn't pay attention to this scene because I'm sick of Ken talking about this. Tell that lady, give her an ultimatum. Either you get a divorce or we're done. Or I don't want to hear about it. This is silly. This is silly. It doesn't make sense whatsoever. So they also talk about Martel and how Martel was apparently acting weird with Trisha. I mean, Trisha should have told you that she was acting just as weird with Martel too. Ken feels that it was on some creep type stuff and he wants to get to the bottom of it because he doesn't want people to see their weirdness, to see their awkwardness, and to feel as if they might have something going on some creep type shit. Okay. So we're headed to Nell's party. So Stormy and Tish and Trisha are in the Sprinter van with their beaux, and they're having another very overly produced conversation. I don't know what Stormy has going on this season, but this is not it. This is not it, y'all. Everything is so overly produced with Stormy. It feels like Stormy is reading or reciting lines. Not just in her confessional, but in her scenes as well. I can't take it. It's so cringe. But Trisha is basically telling her what Tisha said about Nell and how Nell can be very in your face, and how Stormy acts one way sometimes and other times. Stormy, you are wishy-washy. You are. You are. Stormy is like, well, that's not me. Whatever the case, Stormy feels that she the same MF that she's always been. I guess, girl. Stormy, you do act funny, though. You do. So, over in the Scott's van, Tisha and Marceau think it's weird that Stormy invited them to her lovers and friends party. They're reading the invitation. She's like, I would love. And I'm like, Tisha, come on, Tisha. Come on, Tisha. You not flipping out over her saying I would love for y'all to come to this party. That's the hill we're dying on. Next scene. Next scene. Because this is silly. This is completely silly. Back over in the other sprinter, Courtney is saying how he only likes Martel and Chris. He then goes on to say he don't care for Marcel or Maurice because Kimmy was going through cancer and that's how he was treating her. Clock it. So we get to the party. The Scotts are there first. They come in and we're talking about. So the blogger that they're talking about is giving you the real tea. Shout out to T. Shout out to Terrence. I don't know why Carlos or Own or Kingdom Reign didn't just give T a cute little bag, a cute little coin, so they could say the interview so the viewers that don't know what they're talking about can go watch it, run up T's YouTube numbers, and they can have more context. But the way that they're saying the blogger or the Bravo would never, okay? Bravo would have been had T's face and that interview up on the screen. But that's what it is. It's giving you the real tea. He did an interview with Lexi. It's still on his YouTube. That's what that's about. So they're talking about this interview, and Marcel made a very good point because one of their daughters or whoever, one of the somebody in the Fletcher family is like, well, they're unfazed by it, and I was with Marcel. There is no prize. There is no prize for being unfazed or being unbothered. You know what I mean? So I feel like if more people would be real about their feelings about different things, and this goes for a reality TV show and just in real life, a lot more stuff would be resolved. Because what happens is people like to pretend that they're so unbothered, they're so unfazed, they don't care about anything, but at the end of the day, you do. So when you're parading around and you're acting as if you don't care about something that you do care about, it causes resentment. That resentment builds, and then it causes a bigger argument, a bigger kerfluffle, if you will, with other members on the cast. You're stressing yourselves out. If you're bothered by the interview, you're bothered by the interview. Y'all should be bothered by the interview. If we're keeping it a stack, why wouldn't y'all? Now, she said that you were a mistress. She insinuated that your daddy cheated on your mama with your new stepmother, that they treat you differently. You should be bothered by that. Nonetheless, is my shirt dirty? Spilled on some of my shirt. Nonetheless, I don't understand this, but I was on Marcel's side with that. Why act as if you're unfazed? Like, there's no prize. There's no prize for that. So, Melody walks in, and Tisha's energy was too much off rip. She comes up to her, girl, take them sunglasses off, and reaches for her face. I was with Melody. I don't know what level y'all at now, but I'm not there. Absolutely not. And that's when I was like, Tisha, drunk ass. So next thing you know, Nell and Chris came in dancing to this party. I hollered because they were dancing in this party that has 15 people there. Girl, you could have invited Martel, Nell. You could have. So Tisha's drunk and she's asking, how old is Nell? Nell don't want to answer. If she don't want to answer, she don't want to answer. So Melody is like, in her confessional, you know, the way Tisha knocking back these drinks, she about to turn into Wanda Jr. real quick. So Tisha starts saying that she wants a bottle because Courtney ordered a bottle of tequila, so they came out with bubbles, and it's a little situation. So now the ladies want a bottle, so they get a bottle, and I'm like, is everybody got their bottles? Okay, can we finish the scene? Because I noticed how production was feeling. Can we finish the party now? Everybody got bottles? Y'all got your limes? Everybody cool? Because, like, what are we doing? That's not part of what we signed up for. That's not part of the script. So, Stormy is telling them how she wants to do a bikini competition because they're talking about how Trisha is a trainer. So, we get a lot of very awkward conversations. Well, your body looks good. My body looks good. I want to get your body. And it's like, Tisha, My secondhand embarrassment was growing for her. It was growing, y'all. So Trisha is trying to explain her relationship. She says she's married but separated but with somebody else. And everybody is like, is that the somebody else? I don't know why they're making it sound like it's unheard of. People be married and separated and start dating all the time, B. It didn't have to be all weird like this. I think Trisha makes it weirder than it has to be. You and your husband separated, y'all are seeing other people. Why are you making it weird when it doesn't have to be? Something about Trisha is given. I don't know. I don't know, y'all. I don't like her energy. It oozes through the TV a weird way. Meanwhile, Maurice is telling the guys, you can get out of a marriage. You don't have to stay married if it's been 5 years. You can get out of that. Sure. You're a lawyer. Talk to them off camera so you can find out the loopholes that they need to go through. So Tisha's talking to Trisha. And she's like, well, so glad to have you around. The girls are feisty, especially Nell. They give you hell, but she's a mentor too. So Nell was like Kimmy, Melody, and Nell all made a face like, oh. So Nell wants to know, why you call me feisty. And Tisha's like, because you are. Nell is like, well, everybody can be feisty, especially you, Nell. And I'm like, my face was Melody's the whole time. What are we doing? What's going on? Tisha doesn't think she's feisty. And it's like, sis, what do you call what you're doing now? Drunkard? Come on now. So Nell said, okay, let's be clear. I don't mess with anybody here. I don't get in anybody's lives or relationships, which to the best of my recollection, she doesn't. So Melody then puts on her sunglasses and starts dancing because now we're doing too much, right? So Tisha's like, I'm gonna start calling you Melody and Linnell. And I don't understand or get why she brought up Melody, but she did. So Nell said, no, you doing the most right now. And again, facts. So Nell says she doesn't understand Tisha's energy. And Tisha's like, well, we'll talk later. We'll talk after this. Do it on camera so we all can know what the energy is about. So then Stormy is like, yeah, the energy is super weird. What's going on? Tisha said, well, Tisha then kind of looks at Stormy and it's like, no, what's weird is inviting somebody to a party when we haven't talked in months. I said, Tisha, as Nell calls you Tish. Letitia Scott. Is it Tisha or Tisha? Letitia Scott, what are we doing? What is this? What is this? So, and every time we see her, she knocking back a drink. She's sipping on something. Tisha and Stormy start to go back and forth about whose energy is off and not saying friendly things about each other. Tisha tries to get Kimmy and Melody involved, and it's like, remember at the reunion, we didn't leave on good terms. Melody said, don't put me in that shit. Don't put me in that. I am out of that for sure. So they're going back and forth. Stormy wants to know what Tisha meant by saying go and pop some pills. And I would like to know as well. But that was the end of the episode. This was not a good episode. Not a good episode. I'm embarrassed by Letitia's actions. I'm sick of Trisha and Ken. I don't understand why Stormy is so overly produced. And yeah. What y'all think about it? Let me know what y'all thought about the episode. Hop in the comments down below. Catch you guys in the next one. Peace.